Hey guys, I'm over here again because I'm filming at like the inconvenient time of day where this is like the only spot in my room I can film where there won't be a huge glare on the screen because the sun is like everywhere in the rest of my room. But anyway, this is my March wrap up and April TBR where I go through the books that I read in March and tell you really briefly what I thought about them, and then go through the books that I'm planning on reading in April. And the thing is, I said before that I've kind of been slowing down with how many books I'm reading per month, and so I wasn't so sure that I would like read all the books in my TBR from last month, and I didn't. Actually, it was more embarrassing than I thought it would be because I read 4 books last month, but 2 of those were textbooks for books that I've been reading like all semester, and since we're kind of coming to the close of the semester, I finished 2 of them, and so they weren't in my TBR or anything like that, and I just happened to finish them this month, so I only actually finished 2 books from my TBR, which is pretty embarrassing. Hopefully I'll do better in April. I'm not sure if I will, but hopefully I will. As for the books that I've read, though, the first book I finished this month was Earth Science by Edward J. Tarba. I don't have anything to show you because that was an online textbook for my Earth Science class, unsurprisingly. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think it was a good textbook for the topic. It was easy to read, easy to understand. I found it like completely interesting at some points, which was nice, so I liked it. And then on my Kindle I read Last Land by A.R. Ivanovich, which was the 4th book in the War of Princes series, which I've talked about multiple times and loved enough that this is, did I say I gave it 5 out of 5 stars? I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think I gave the entire series 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much that I reviewed all of the books, but I tried to keep spoilers out of them, and so at the end I did another blog post about the series as a whole where I could like talk about spoilers and things. It's been a long time since I've loved a series as much as I loved the War of Princes series. I'm just really excited about it, and I would highly recommend it. Then I read Little House on the Prairie from A to Z by Patrick Lobatier, maybe? I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is just a short book, and this makes it even more embarrassing that I only read 4 books in the month of March because this is like nothing at all. But it's just like you have letters of the alphabet, like this is F, and then you have like short things on different things related to the Little House on the Prairie TV show that have to do with like that letter of the alphabet. And like it's a nice book for Little House on the Prairie fans. It came in the box set of season 9, I think. I don't know if I said, but I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book I read this month was another textbook, and it is in a binder because for some reason my school's bookstore only sold the unbound version of the textbook that you like have to put in binders. There were no bound versions in the bookstore, or if there were, they were gone by the time I got to the bookstore. But I personally don't understand why you would sell an unbound book in the first place. I guess it's cheaper, but it's just I've torn pages and everything of this, so it's really annoying, but that's a different rant. It's Becoming a Teacher by Forrest W. Parkway, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. The thing with this book is the class that I had to read it for is like an intro education course. It's designed for like freshmen, I think, or maybe sophomores. The education program at my school has different levels that you have to like apply for like phase 1 and to like, which is like officially getting into the School of Ed and sort of things like that. I'm obviously student teaching next semester, so I'm in like the last phase. But I think this particular class is for like freshmen, maybe sophomores who haven't gone through phase 1 yet, and it's like supposed to be their intro education class that like introduces like key sort of concepts and things like that. And me and a couple other people in the class are far beyond that because obviously I'm student teaching next semester, but because scheduling is always so confusing and things get changed, I'm taking the class as a senior. So I already knew everything in this textbook. It wasn't any new information, but I did think it was a good book, and I think it's like an excellent book for an introduction class, even if for me it was like a review. But for someone who's like just starting college studying education, I think it would be a great book to like introduce things to them. And now for my TBR and the books that I plan to read in April, I'm gonna do 5 books like I usually do, but I'm not extremely optimistic that it will make it through all 5 books. But the first book is the book I'm currently reading. It's Rizuko by David Cudler, I think. Yes. I have been reading this since like halfway through March, I think, and I'm not liking it, and it's part of the reason why I only read 4 books in March, because it's taking me forever to get through this book. And it's not like it's a long book or difficult to read or anything like that. As much as it is, I'm just not into it that much. I really don't feel like I've been reading that much the end of like March, because I just really am not excited about picking this book up, and I'll go into reasons for that once I finish it, because I'm only like halfway through right now, but I am planning to finish it, but I don't like it so far. But once I do get through it, I'm going to read Fast Food Maniac by John Hayne. This is a book I got for review. Basically, it's supposed to be about American fast food, and just a book about American fast food, and I'm strangely interested in that. And like it has different, like here's Wendy's, like different restaurants, and like talking about specialty items and secret menu items and like the history of it, I think, and just like interesting tidbits about it. And I'm extremely interested in this. I, for some strange reason, really love like food books, like not like cookbooks or not like general food books, but like fast food or like processed food, the stuff that's not typically good for you, like books that talk about like strange facts about them or like history or things like that, for some reason very much intrigued me. If you know Unwrapped on the Food Network, which I haven't even seen for the longest time because I never turn on the TV anymore unless it's Shadowhunters or Rain, but I like love that show, and like that sort of thing in book form. It's just really interesting to me for some reason, and so I'm really excited for this book. And then I had 15 Lanes by S.J. Laidlaw, which was like the last book, I think, or no, not the last book, I have another one that was on my TBR last month and I talked about, and I was right about it taking place in India, but now I've forgotten like other aspects of it. I think it's about human trafficking, and more particularly like the human trafficking of young girls or young women. Not sure of their exact ages, but I'm pretty sure that's what the book is about, which sounds very interesting and something that I don't want to say I'm excited to read it, but something I'm very interested in, and something that I really hope is a good book. And then I have the Longman Anthology of British Literature, Volume IC, The Restoration in the 18th Century. This is the book where I mentioned I took it home on accident thinking I had read it, because I lost track of which volumes that I have of this anthology that I have read and haven't. This is the only one I haven't read, and it's relatively short as far as literature anthologies go. So hopefully it doesn't take me that long to read. I don't feel like I'll get it done in April, but we'll see. If I do get it done, then I have a book that's not downloaded on my Kindle, but I do have it on my phone, on the Kindle app on my phone. And I downloaded this from NetGalley. As you can see, it's an advanced reading copy, and there's no cover. This is the first page, but it's We Are an African People by Russell Rickford, and I'm pretty sure the like subtitle says everything about it that I know, at least. Independent education, Black power, and the radical imagination. So that's pretty much all I know about it. All I know is it's about like the Black power movement and like education in Black communities. That's pretty much all I know, but it's something that I'm extremely excited to read. So I think that is all that I have to say. Hopefully I read all of these books in April. We'll see what happens, but I will see you guys later. Bye.